I'm 94 years old and I live alone. Yes, alone. No children at home, no partner in the house, no nurse checking in every hour. Just me and my mornings. And yet, when people see me walking down the street, carrying my groceries or tending to my little garden, they often stop and ask, "How on earth are you healthier than my 50-year-old brother?" I smile, because the truth isn't complicated, but it is deliberate. It comes down to 5 simple morning habits, habits that have kept me more energetic, more balanced, and yes, even happier than many people half my age. But before I share them, I want to speak to those of you who might be waking up these days with a heaviness you can't quite name. Maybe your knees ache before you even step out of bed. Maybe you pour your morning coffee and realise you haven't felt truly alive in years. Or maybe you've quietly accepted that slowing down is just what happens after 60. My friend, it doesn't have to be that way. I've spent decades observing, learning, and living through the seasons of life, war, loss, love, illness, recovery. And if there's one thing I know for certain, it's this: the human body and mind are incredibly adaptable. Even in our 70s, 80s, and 90s, we can restore strength, clarity, and joy if we treat each morning as the foundation for the rest of our day. Let me tell you about 3 people I've met in my journey. There's George, 78, who lost his wife 2 years ago and thought his health would decline right along with his spirit. Then there's Patricia, 83, who used to rely on her cane just to get to the mailbox. And finally, there's Harold, 67, a retired firefighter who battled fatigue for years after leaving the force. Each of them began incorporating some of these morning habits, not all at once, but slowly and within months. Their families were calling me to say, "I don't know what happened, but they seem alive again." At the end of this video, I'm going to share a surprising combination, a habit pairing you've probably never thought of that takes all of these benefits to another level. But for now, let's dive into the habits that shape my days and keep me living not just long, but well. Habit 1, I wake up with the sun. I don't mean that I force myself out of bed at 5 a.m. every day. No. What I mean is that I wake with the natural light, allowing my body's circadian rhythm to work as nature intended. The morning sunlight hits my eyes, even if it's through the window, and tells my brain it's time to be awake. This small act triggers a chain reaction. My cortisol levels rise just enough to give me gentle energy. My melatonin fades so I'm not groggy, and my mind begins to focus. Science confirms this exposure to natural light in the first hour after waking can improve sleep quality at night, balance mood, and even regulate hormones like testosterone and estrogen. And you don't have to live in a sunny climate to do this. Just open your blinds or step outside for a few minutes. When George started doing this, he noticed something odd. His afternoon naps became shorter, and he began sleeping deeper at night. That small change. It gave him back his evenings time he now spends reading instead of dozing in front of the television. Habit 2. I hydrate before I eat. Before coffee, before tea, before even thinking about breakfast. I drink a full glass of water. Sometimes I add a squeeze of lemon. Sometimes I just keep it plain. At 94, your body's thirst signals can get weaker. You may not even realize you're dehydrated until you feel tired, dizzy, or confused. Hydrating. First thing helps your body flush toxins that have built up overnight, kickstarts your metabolism, and keeps your digestion running smoothly. Patricia resisted this habit at first. She swore her tea was enough. But after a few weeks of adding water before her morning tea, She realised her joint stiffness was easing and her skin didn't feel as dry. It's such a simple action, yet it's one of the easiest ways to set your body up for a day of steady energy. Habit 3. I move gently but intentionally. This is not about hitting the gym or running a mile. At my age, I focus on mobility, flexibility, and circulation. My morning movement routine lasts about 10 minutes. I stretch my arms overhead, roll my shoulders, twist gently at the waist, and walk slowly around the house or outside. Sometimes I'll do balance exercises standing on one foot for a few seconds at a time to keep my coordination sharp. Harold was skeptical about this. He thought that exercise meant sweating and pushing hard, but after trying gentle movement in the mornings, he noticed his back pain eased and he could stand longer without discomfort. The key here is consistency, not intensity. Now, here's why these first 3 habits matter so much. Together, they awaken your body's system: circulatory, digestive, nervous without shock. They give you the best chance to have an active day, to think clearly, and to prevent the slow physical decline that so many accept as inevitable. And remember, I still have 2 more habits to share, and that surprising combination at the end. But first, I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time you truly felt your morning gave you life, instead of just being something you had to get through? Habit 4, I nourish my mind before my body. Before breakfast, before the day's noise and demands begin, I take a few minutes to feed my mind. Sometimes it's reading a page from a book that inspires me. Sometimes it's writing a short note of gratitude, just 1 or 2 things I'm thankful for that morning. And sometimes it's simply sitting in my chair by the window, breathing deeply, and noticing the world waking up. Why? Because the mind shapes the body's energy more than we realise. A calm, focused mind sets the tone for every decision we make during the day, from the food we choose to the way we handle stress. Science backs this up. Studies have shown that even 5 minutes of mindfulness in the morning can lower blood pressure, improve immune function, and sharpen memory, especially in older adults. You don't have to call it meditation if that word feels strange. Just call it quiet time. What matters is the intention to begin the day with clarity, not chaos. George, the widower I mentioned earlier, told me this habit was the one that changed him most. He began each morning reading a poem his wife loved, followed by a few moments of silent reflection. Over time, the grief that once crushed him softened into something gentler, still present, but no longer the centre of his life. His blood pressure dropped, his mood lifted, and he said, I feel like I'm living for both of us now. Habit 5, I eat for energy, not just for hunger. Breakfast is not about filling the stomach, it's about fueling the body. At 94, I've learnt to choose foods that give me steady energy rather than quick bursts that fade. My typical breakfast: a boiled egg or a small portion of oatmeal topped with berries, a handful of nuts, and sometimes a spoonful of yogurt. I keep it simple, colourful, and rich in nutrients. You see, as we age, our bodies process sugar and refined carbs differently. Too much can spike blood sugar, leading to a crash that leaves us tired and irritable. Protein and healthy fats, on the other hand, keep our muscles strong and our minds alert. Patricia, who used to skip breakfast altogether, decided to try a small but balanced meal each morning. Within weeks, she noticed her mid-morning fatigue disappeared. She even had enough energy to start walking to the park twice a week, a walk she now looks forward to. By the time I finish my breakfast, I've already set the tone for the rest of my day. My body is hydrated, my mind is steady, my muscles have moved, my spirit feels grounded, and my energy is stable. Why these habits work together individually. Each habit is powerful, but together they form a chain reaction. Waking with light resets your internal clock, hydrating flushes and energizes, gentle movement activates your circulation, quiet time calms the mind, and a balanced breakfast fuels the body. It's not about perfection, it's about small, consistent actions that send the message to your body and brain. I am still here and I am still living. The surprising combination. Now, I promise to share a pairing you might not have considered. It's this: combine your morning movement with your quiet time. For me, that means starting my gentle stretches while standing near my window or out on my porch, feeling the sunlight and fresh air as I move. This way, I'm nourishing my body and mind at the same time, doubling the benefits without adding more time to my routine. Harold began doing this by walking slowly in his garden each morning, focusing on his breath and noticing the sounds around him. Not only did his balance improve, but his anxiety, which he'd carried since retiring, began to fade. From knowledge to practice. Now that you know the 5 habits, here's my gentle challenge. Choose just one to begin tomorrow morning. Don't try to change everything at once. Give your body and mind a chance to adapt. If you wake up late, open the blinds before anything else. If you usually start the day with coffee, add a glass of water first. If your mornings are rushed, find just 3 minutes for quiet breathing. And if you're ready, create a simple breakfast that fuels you instead of draining you. Every action you take in the morning sends a signal to your body about the kind of day you will have. And when you repeat those actions day after day, they become a message to your life. I am choosing health. I am choosing presence. I am choosing to live well. An invitation to you. I know some of you might be thinking, it's too late for me. I'm already in my 80s. My health isn't what it used to be. But I want you to hear this. You are not done yet. The heart can still grow stronger. The brain can still form new connections. The body can still surprise you. I've seen men in their 70s reverse pre-diabetes by changing their mornings. I've seen women in their 80s reduce joint pain through gentle stretching. And yes, I've seen people in their 90s, like me, living independently and joyfully, not because we are special, but because we treat each morning like a gift. So, tomorrow, when you wake, I hope you remember this conversation. You don't have to do everything. Just do something, one small act of care for yourself. And then the next morning, do it again. In time, you'll notice the difference. Your mornings will feel less like a struggle and more like an opening, an invitation to live the day fully, no matter your age. At the end of this video, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments and tell me which of these habits speaks to you most. Do you already practice one of them, or is there a different morning ritual that has helped you? If you found this video helpful, leave the number 1 in the comments. If not, leave a 0. And if you'd like more simple, science-backed advice for living well at any age, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and explore the other videos waiting for you, because your best mornings may still be ahead.